Hey y'all, this is my review for Porsha's Family Matters. We are back on our Sunday schedule. Thankfully, Insecure is over, so I just have two videos to worry about, this in Salt Lake City. So let's get into this episode because it was something. So it's day 3 of this family retreat that they're on, and we open with Lauren and she's doing the yoga activity, and of course, who's missing during this? Porsha, but yet Dennis is here and two of Porsha's minions, like her current assistant and her old assistant. Yeah, I'm not about to watch them do yoga. No, fast forward. So after they finish, we see Dennis in his confessional saying, yeah, I'm not gonna be doing this yoga again. And what happened to the family bonding? Like, this is the whole reason why I'm here and agreed to do this. And I totally agree. Like, wasn't this Porsha's idea? Like, why isn't she at this yoga activity? It's just so crazy that toxic ass Dennis is the voice of reason on this show. Dennis then sits down Porsha's minions and Lauren and gives it to them straight. Like, when me and Porsha were together, I told her that your friends is my friends. This situation changed now. Y'all are not my friends. And Lauren, I appreciate you, including me in this, but where's Porsha? And I was like, exactly. Like, please, can somebody hold Porsha accountable that's close to Porsha and not just Dennis? He points out that he went to meditation, he went to yoga, but yet Porsha isn't here. And that's the whole reason why he came, is to have a better relationship with his baby mama. Lauren reluctantly agrees. Also, she is very brave to come on here with no makeup. Just saying. She looks good, she's just brave. Again, Dennis making more and more sense in his confession. He's like, all these people are attached to Porsha. Are they going to hold her accountable? The answer is no, because as someone said on Twitter, everyone sees Porsha as a paycheck, including Simon. So they're not going to rise up against her. They're not going to call her out. It doesn't matter what Dennis tells them, because at the end of the day, their allegiance is with Porsha. When this episode first started, I was just like, this show is making Porsha look worse and worse. It is kind of changing my opinion of her. It really is. And it sucks because I like Porsha on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but this is just not painting her in the best light. And I know y'all be saying I'd be coming for Kenya, but I'm definitely coming for Porsha in this. Lauren then says in her confessional that she holds Porsha accountable in private, whatever that means. But she said that she thinks it's time to stop coddling her and actually call her out for her behavior. Good luck with that, Lauren. So now we're getting some tea behind why Porsha and Dennis broke up, I think, a second time. And this involves Porsha's sissy minion, Dom. So Dennis says he cheated on Porsha while she was pregnant. Yes, he's an F ninja, this is already established. But the girl that he cheated on her with is now working at one of his restaurants. And I think this was a lot of time later. But then Sissy Dom comes in and sees this and then tells Porsha, and I think that blows up their relationship. And he doesn't address this yet sitting down at the table with them, but he's just telling us this in his confessional. I don't see why he's mad at Dom, because Dom's allegiance is with Porsha. Hell, if I was in Dom's position, I would say, oh yeah, your man just hired the woman he cheated on you with at one of his restaurants? Yeah, I would definitely say something. So Dennis is in the wrong here. He needs to have accountability for his own actions. At the end of the day, I think they're still in love with each other. So for some reason, Sweaty Dennis tells Porsha's minions, while Lauren isn't at the table, that his conversation with Simon, he found out that Simon has his own moving company for situations where he wants to kick a bitch out if they divorce or whatever. And he's like, well, considering that's his baby mama, that's still none of his business. But he tells them this information they aren't gonna go and tell that to Porsha. And then when Lauren gets back to sit down, he lies about what he was talking about. I was really confused about that. So Lauren ends the conversation by telling Dennis that she's gonna talk to Porsha. So next scene, we're with Lauren and she's meditating and Portia's interrupting her, but this is the perfect time for Lauren to call Porsha out on her behavior on this retreat. Side note, I didn't realize Porsha had a neck tattoo. That's pretty big. No judgments, it's pretty big. It looks like Porsha didn't know that Dennis switched rooms, and she said she doesn't have a problem with him bringing a woman, but she does have a problem with his intentions, and she's putting a lot of this blame on Dennis. And then Porsha has the nerve to say this is a family retreat. Are you related to your ex-assistant and your current assistant? They're not your family. Aunt Liz called that out an episode ago. And honestly, it feels like some of the family that she brought on the trip is meeting each other for the first time. So it looks like Lauren is kind of sticking up for Dennis as Porsha is talking about him. And then she mentions Mama Gina, and Porsha is like, she is done with Mama Gina. She will stop communicating with her effective immediately. She is still hot that Mama Gina read her at that restaurant and called her out for cheating too. And word on the street is Porsha's mom wasn't actually sick. Like, she blocked her from coming because she didn't want her tea to be spilled, and she didn't want her to confront Mama Gina about it because she knew Mama Gina probably wasn't lying. I'm not sure, but that's what they're saying on Twitter right now. Porsha says she is done with trying to integrate Mama Gina into her family. Porsha is making herself out to be the victim in this situation and pointing hands at everybody, and Lauren is just sitting there like, ooh, Lauren just called Porsha out, and Porsha was not expecting this by the look on her face. Like, she said, you can't change Mama Gina. What we're trying to change is the perspective, and basically, your hands ain't clean either. You need to look at yourself as well. And I think Porsha, she's still looking for yes people, but I can see that she's not going to get anywhere with Porsha. Porsha already has her mind made up. This is her show. You shut up, minion, or you not on this paycheck no more. Lauren is telling Porsha that she's just giving up too easily. Like, this was your idea, and then when we get here after day one, you're just like, oh, fuck it. I don't want to do this anymore. Lauren continues to go in on Porsha, saying, like, she doesn't think she's being transparent, she's not being real, and you're not being open. And I agree. Porsha tried to say, well, I haven't been given the tools to deal with this. And Lauren's like, well, you didn't go to meditation or yoga. Porsha is then like, well, meditation wouldn't have helped. Porsha isn't receiving this at all. Like, she keeps going back to what Mama Gina doing, what Dennis doing, how it's affecting her. All I'm hearing is excuses. Wow, and Porsha says she feels like she's fixed. Girl, really? I mean, we didn't even get to the end of the episode yet, but you fixed? Okay. Come to the meditation. Do the work. Well, sitting down and being quiet isn't going to change nothing. Porsha's like, well, I still be working on myself personally. And then Lauren was like, working on yourself with yourself without any type of instruction or licensed therapist isn't going to do anything. And then Porsha's like, well, my God does all that. At that point, I would have just got up and walked away. I would have went down to the bar and got me a mojito and been like, fuck this shit. It ain't my baby daddy who I'm trying to get along with. I'm not trying to explain to the world, why I stole somebody's man. I just would have went downstairs to the bar and had my ass a drink. You still have an ego and you still have a bias. Exactly. I mean, I'm glad Lauren is speaking up to her, but I think it's like talking to a brick wall at this point. Here we go. Here go Porsha's tears. Now she's bringing up like their dad and her situation with her mom, trying to cross over lines. I don't know. She's deflecting. You don't have to tell me how. How did we get here? You were just being held accountable in this situation and being told to do better. So it looks like their conversation ends on a good note, and now they're going to be doing their separate activities. So one group is going to do a tequila tasting, and the other group is going to be doing ATVing. So first we're with the tequila tasting crew, and it's the Minions, Londi, and Dennis. I'm just wondering, how come Dennis isn't with Porsha? They're trying to have a better co-parenting relationship. I would think he would be with Porsha and Simon. But no, he's tasting tequila with her minions and her cousin. I do like Londi though. I think she's the most realist person on here. I don't like this Dom character. He's a messy sissy. So Dom and Porsha's assistant Lauren bring up to Dennis that, are you really done with Porsha? And it does come off like that to us. Like, do they still like each other? Because they care too much about what the other is doing. I'm not sure if I understood this right, but according to Dennis, they only broke up 3 months ago. I don't know. That can't be the right timeline. They had to be separated for longer than that Maybe. But then they're now just talking about this woman that he brought with him on this trip. Miss Thing Thing or whatever. Just some thought that he brought from Atlanta. And Dennis is petty. I could see him bringing that woman purposely just to piss Porsha off and make her jealous. So now they're discussing Storm and her mother's weird relationship, especially at the waterfall where her mom was like, ah! Like screaming like a banshee. And Storm is just rolling her eyes at her. Storm is a troubled trick and I really don't like her, but I'll save my thoughts for the end of this video. So Londi messy ass gets them to do a reenactment of Storm and her mother at the waterfall. They ain't shit. So next scene with the other group, which is Porsha, Lauren, Storm, and Simon. And they're all going ATVing. Then we find out that Aunt Liz and Mama Gina are together and they're at the spa and they're bonding. Can we have a spinoff with those two? They're way more interesting. So then Porsha and them, they start ATVing, blah, blah, blah. And then we see the other group as they're testing tequila out. I think personally, I would rather be doing a tequila tasting. So we're staying with the tequila group and they decide to play a game that was brought up by Londi messy ass. And she's doing a questions game where they can ask you any question you want. And if you don't answer it, you have to take a shot. Not Londi asking Sissy Dom if he can smash any woman here, who would it be? He's straight? Really? I ain't buying it. And then he says the family friend of all people. This woman looks like she's like 58. Meanwhile, we take a break to see what the ATV group is doing. And Porsha, I think she broke a nail and they zooming in on that. I was like, I don't want to see that. Fast forward. And now we're back with the tequila group. Yeah, this tequila tasting group is getting kind of messy. So then Dom asks Londi, do you know the reason why Porsha didn't take her shot but Dennis did? And they're insinuating that Porsha might be pregnant. I'm guessing that's where that rumor came from a few months ago, that she was pregnant with Simon's child. Oh, so her assistant Lauren confirms that she's not pregnant because she actually saw Porsha pee on a stick. I wonder what Porsha thinks about this conversation. Wow, they talking about how she let Simon hit after day 2, and then Londi was like, she let you hit after day 1. I was like, oh my God. And Londi's like, I didn't mean to say that. Girl, you know what you're doing. Londi is messy. Maybe that's why I like her so much. So this question game just keeps getting more and more interesting. So Dennis then asks Londi, why does Porsha treat you so bad? And at first I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that. She seemed like pretty nice to Londi, but Londi says because I'm too blunt for Porsha. And I can believe that because Porsha likes to be surrounded by yes men. And another reason why I love Londi, she says she's not gonna kiss Porsha's ass. Wow, and Londi says in her confessional, like, for some reason me and Porsha, you know, we just never were friends. Here I'm thinking that we're cool. Like, we at the 5th episode, we find out that Londi and Porsha don't really have a relationship. And Londi is calling them all out. She's like, Porsha's surrounded by ass kissers. You got Sissy Dom, you got her assistant who she's paying to be an ass kisser, and then Storm, like, oh my God, that's a whole nother thing there. Storm wants to be Porsha. So the next messy question is asked by Dom, and he asks Dennis, what's the real beef between you and Storm? And I want to know too. So Dennis is like, you know, she's a liar, and he brings up that, you know, at the table, she said she was never celebrated, yet Dennis threw her 21st birthday party. Interesting. I'm thinking he tried to get with Storm before he knew Porsha. That's what it looks like. He says that he threw her this birthday party before she got fired. And she got fired because, you know, she was talking to management in any kind of ways, she sucked at her job, etc. So then it said at the table that Storm stopped coming around when Porsha started talking to Dennis. And Storm kind of felt a way about that. It's just weird. Then they asked Dennis, so nothing happened between you and Storm. Dramatic pause, go to commercial break. He then says, nah, ain't nothing happened between me and Storm. I think he's lying. I think something did happen between him and Storm, and then him going to talk to Porsha definitely pissed her off. So now the discussion turns to Porsha condoning Storm's reckless ass behavior, and I agree with that. Storm is getting real out of pocket with everybody with stuff that has nothing to do with her, but Porsha loves a yes man. As long as Storm is in her corner defending Porsha, then Porsha's gonna stick up for Storm. Londy's talking about how her and Storm got into it, and you know, when Storm stood up, Londy's like, I would have broke that bitch in half. I would like to see it. I was actually kind of disappointed that this fight at the end of the episode wasn't between Londy and Storm. Wow, now Porsha's minion calling Porsha out, saying that she's not in tune with her own emotions and she needs to figure that out. Lauren says this. I know she's probably fired after this episode aired. Even Dennis says in this situation, girl, you getting fired. Oh, so now this is how the discussion happens about who's the op. The op being the snitch. So he says that, oh, well, you giving your honest opinion about Porsha, that means you're not the snitch. Not the producers giving us a definition on the screen by Urban Dictionary about what an op is. So now the conversation goes to Dom because he's the one that snitched on Dennis to Porsha. And, you know, Londy calls it out and they kind of fake playing, but Dennis said he's like, let's fight. Let's fight. I'm guessing this is when Dennis and Porsha broke up the second time. It's because Dom said that he told Lauren about the chick that was working at Dennis's restaurant. And Dennis is still mad about this to this day because that was the main reason why they broke up. And again, I really do think Dennis wants Porsha back, if he could. Dennis is still toxic at the end of the day, even though he makes sense. Two things can be true at the same time. He's a toxic, ain't shit N-word, and he's the one holding Porsha the most accountable. Yeah, this conversation definitely went left now that he knows this information that Dom definitely told Lauren and Lauren told Porsha. Dennis in his confessional says he has 11 locations. Wow, I didn't know his hot dog business was that popular in Atlanta. But anyway, he says that he's not in charge of the hiring. It's hard for me to believe that. It really is. I'm not sure why Dennis is upset because their allegiance is to Porsha, not to you. If he snitched, so what? Like, that's his friend. So of course he's gonna tell Porsha. I'm not on Dennis' side on this. I'm on Dennis' side for a lot of things, but not this. Just own your shit. It sounds so stupid when people say you snitched. Like, what? Really? I'm surprised they didn't fire at the table right then and there, but they keeping it cute right now. This was the perfect time for them to scrap, but they didn't. Dennis also says in his confessional that Dom don't want to catch a fade, but I sure owe him one. Now, I know what catch a fade means, but producers, of course, is putting this up for the white people. Woo, so we get some more tea. So as Londy's sipping her tequila, she tells Dennis, well, you sure didn't fire that hussy, but you fired me. And Dennis with the mic drop. He was like, you know why? You know why? Because Porsha told me to fire you. The look on Londy's face. Oh my gosh, she did not expect that. Her face is cracked. She is gobsmacked right now at this information. Like, I mean, it says a lot about Porsha. It really does. Like, you don't fall in line with Porsha, your ass get fired. And it more so had to do with Porsha's drama with Dennis, and I'm guessing she didn't want her working for Dennis. I don't know, but it's very messy. Woo, so next scene, it is later in the evening and everybody's getting ready for dinner. It's so weird that Porsha is hardly in this episode, and it's been like that for a couple of them. Honestly, you can already tell when people sit down that some drama's about to go down. Like, just the look on everybody's face. Like, people look miserable to be together on a bonding trip. And then we see the camera zooming in on Sissy Dom, and it looks like he's still drunk from the tequila tasting. So then Lauren asks everybody how their day was. We find out that Aunt Liz and Mama Gina, they bonded during the spa. And then she asks the people who went on the tequila tasting how everything went. Now, why would Sissy Dom bring up that questions game? Why? All this would have been avoided, the drama coming up, if he didn't open his big fat mouth. And he keeps going. Like, the looks on Londy and Dennis's face is like, why is you saying this right now? And of course, Porsha nosy ass gonna wanna know what happened. Yep, and he says that they were talking about Porsha and Lauren and how Lauren went to Porsha with this information and he told her that Dennis was still messing around with this hussy that he cheated on her with. Dom has now thrown everybody under the bus right now, including Dennis. And his drunk ass, I think he knows what he's doing. Lonnie doesn't want to be involved in this, and now Porsha's getting aggravated. And then the assistant, Lauren, says, Dennis and Dom got into it about Dom being a snitch. So this is all being discussed in front of the whole table now. So it looks like Dennis didn't technically cheat on Porsha. It was just the fact that the woman that he cheated on with was still employed at one of Dennis's establishments, which broke them up. But also at the end of the day, this was in the past, Porsha has a new man, a new fiance, and Dennis is single doing what he wants. So I don't understand why they're bringing this all up now, again. Mama Gina is now getting involved saying, this is stupid, why are you even bringing this up in the first place? Dennis is trying to get his mom to back out of the conversation. The energy between Dennis and Dom is getting more and more hostile right now. Everything is going left very quickly. And Simon's just sitting there just like eating his food. I think Simon don't even care about this drama. He just worried about keeping his meal ticket happy. It's very funny. We hear the mic catch Aunt Liz and Mama Gina talking. And Mama Gina was like, this is why I don't want to be a part of this family. And then Aunt Liz is like, well, you need to be a part of Hosea Williams' real family, meaning her dad's side. And she's right. Porsha's dad's side is the less messier side. I feel like the editing's a little bit off because they keep telling Mama Gina to chill. Like, she must have said something else because her and Porsha's kind of going at it too. So then we see Porsha's assistant Lauren trying to calm Dom down and tell him to be quiet. And then Porsha jumps in and is like, why are you telling them to be quiet? Like, now she's putting her assistant in check. Like, basically telling her to fall in line. Oh, so now Sissy Dom is talking that big talk. Now that, he's in front of the family, and Dennis looks like he wants to lunge at him. Yeah, Dom is definitely showing out right now when earlier in the day he was not about that, when they were directly across from each other. Mama Gina is trying to change the conversation, and then Storm then pops up and tells her, well, your son's the one that's still talking. And then right after that, Dennis tells Storm to shut the fuck up, yet again. Like, he really does not like Storm. And Dennis is saying he's defending his mom in this moment. That's why he told her to shut the fuck up. Again, Storm is a child, it seems like. Even though she's 23, she's immature. Just ignore her. But Porsha's had enough of it. She tells Dennis, you are not about to tell my cousin to shut the fuck up. I let it go the first time, but I ain't letting it go this time. Personally, I don't like Storm, and I wish she would shut the fuck up. But still, I think it wasn't Dennis's place. But again, like, she was talking to his mom kind of reckless, and we already saw in, like, I think the first couple episodes how Storm doesn't have any respect for her elders. So it's so hard. What do y'all think? Wow, so now Porsha calls security on Dennis? Dennis didn't do anything. Like, he didn't get out his seat. All he did was just tell Storm to shut the fuck up. I'm thinking this will be the last dinner with all of them together because Lauren just said we're going to have separate dinners from now on. We even see Porsha's sister Lauren trying to throw Dennis under the bus, which proves what Dennis said earlier. Like, y'all are all aligned with Porsha. Y'all are going to have her side no matter what. So it seems like it's Dennis and Mama Gina versus everybody. I'm taking Aunt Liz out the equation because she's just her own person. Oh, Porsha, come on. So then she gets up and tells security really loudly he needs to leave, him and his sluts and his mom. Come on, Porsha. You're supposed to be the bigger person. I didn't like that, Porsha. Like, don't put his mom in. Like, that's still your elder. Have some respect for his mom. Even though she is kind of out of pocket with you and it's tense, I still wouldn't have done that. And then, who's the sluts? Because he didn't bring his girlfriend to the table. So then Dennis and his big pot belly get up and he tells his mom, come on, we leaving. Dennis is still talking about Storm, how she's a big kid, talking to grown people. It's a lot of yelling and screaming right now. Porsha keeps telling Dennis to go! Go! Dennis is now telling Porsha, fuck you. You're the one who wanted me to be here. And she keeps yelling go, and then Storm, she runs her mouth, puts in her 2 cents. He tells her shut up again, all while trying to tell his mom to calm down. Porsha's then telling him, go, you and your mama, get the fuck out. Simon is trying to keep the peace. He tells Dennis, we're just going to talk about this later. He apologizes. Porsha is still on 1,000. Ooh, and then the swinging happens, and then it turns into a melee, and then it fades to black, to be continued. And then you hear somebody say, my son! Which is probably Mama Gina. So y'all, I rewind this scene maybe 15 times to see what happened. So I gather that as Dennis's mom was going down the stairs, Porsha was bucking up on her, and then Dennis kind of moved her back, and then that is when Porsha started swinging. And I think it was Porsha's fault in this situation. And it looked like Dennis, I'm not sure what Dennis was doing. I think, did he hit her back? It went so fast, y'all, and we have to wait till next week. And y'all cannot tell me that this was not entertaining. I mean, it's toxic as fuck and terrible and ratchet, but it's entertaining as fuck. And I just can't believe Porsha, another fight, girl, another fight. Ain't you working on yourself? But you fixed. You fixed, right? I can't believe this. Well, you know what? I actually can believe this, but I just can't believe Porsha would allow herself to be shown in such a terrible light. She's clearly the villain in her own show. I really do not like Storm at all. I think she's trying to beat Porsha. She's all up under her. She's looking for a moment. I hope she didn't hit his mom, because I'm not sure how you fix things after that. But anyway, y'all, that's where the episode ends. And I do want to talk about the Storm allegations because they were very serious. So Storm took to her Twitter account and said, Dennis physically assaulted me in Mexico. I've been silent long enough. This man has sexually harassed me, and now a grown-ass 40-plus-year-old man physically assaulted me in Mexico. She also posted pics. She has a busted lip, some scrapes. I think a scrape on her face, a scrape on her neck. Now, we didn't see that yet, so I'm going to hold my comments on that for right now until we see the whole fight. But this is some serious allegations, either, she's trying to look, I do think she's looking for a moment in this, but she waited exactly until the episode ended to post this, which I think says a lot. She should have been said something. And also, she says even more serious allegations. She's saying that Dennis is a pedo. And she was 18, 19 when she worked for him, and he sexually harassed her the entire time. And she says she's a lesbian. We did not ever see each other outside of work, and I have messages. Stop the capping. Nobody want his fat ass. There's a lot wrong with this statement. First and foremost, a pedo, you were 18, 19. Just saying. Also, what about the birthday he had for you when you were 21? This is some very serious allegations, and Dennis can definitely sue her for defamation. This is really serious. I also can't see Bravo wanting their hands in this, and I don't think this show's gonna be picked up for a second season, because this is real messy. But I'm gonna wait until I see the full fight in episode 6. I heard that it may be 8 episodes, and next week's 6th episode isn't the season finale, so we'll see. I'm very interested to see what happens next and this fight. I would love to hear y'all comments, y'all, on this, because this was something. But anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for Salt Lake City. Bye.